Episode 50.
What the hell is that?
Chen Guo was utterly stunned. The weapon in Lord Grimm's hand was a 3-in-1, a transforming armament that could shift between sword, spear, and lance. Unlike Chen Guo's shock, Tang Ru, who knew little about glory, wasn't as fazed. Her fingers flew across the keys, and chasing Haze, Lord Grimm leapt back to dodge. But chasing Haze instantly fired off an anti-tank missile. Tang Ru's reflexes were lightning fast, and the skill itself was quick to activate. At such close range, Lord Grimm was hit dead on, instantly dissolving into a wisp of green smoke. Tang Ru and Chen Guo were both stunned. Not only was it impossible for a single skill to instantly kill someone in the correction field, but even if it did, a body should be left behind. How could it just vanish into a wisp of smoke, as if ascending to the heavens? Panicked. Too late. By the time Tang Ru realized, it was already over. A spray of crimson erupted before her eyes, gushing from chasing Haze's neck. The assassin's skill. This skill must be executed from behind, granting a backstab bonus that ignores defense. Though it's a low-level skill, its damage output is nothing to scoff at. As for that Lord Grimm who had been blasted into smoke by the anti-tank missile, both of them now understood it was the ninja skill, Shadow Clone. Lord Grimm had cast the skill while backflipping to dodge the cyclone kick, leaving the clone in front of him, while his true body shifted behind chasing Haze. Having suffered successive blows, Tang Ru's expression grew intensely focused. Rapid keyboard clicks, a flurry of keystrokes and mouse clicks later, chasing Haze darted through the spray of blood with a nimble hop. Before she was even half a meter off the ground, she had already spun a full 180 degrees, a testament to her blisteringly fast mechanics. The mouse flew across the pad, searching for a target to fire upon. But as the viewport swung around, a blade's light cleaved through the air, trailing a crimson mist. The Berserker's skill, Mountain Breaker. The skills and abilities these three had learned, while lacking the precise tuning and bonuses of a professional build. The mountain-shattering strike slashed chasing Haze down from mid-air. Upon hitting the ground, she was briefly launched back up. Lord Grimm seized that fleeting opening. He drove a knee upward, launching chasing Haze into the air. With a flick of the Myriad Manifestations umbrella, he unleashed a torrent of fire at the airborne target. Chen Guo and Tang Ru knew this skill like the back of their hands. It was the launcher's signature move. Chasing Haze, who had been riddled with gunfire in midair, scrambled to her feet after hitting the ground, ready to fight. But as she spun her view around, Lord Grimm was nowhere to be seen. Instead, a green-skinned goblin was wobbling toward her, hurling rocks. Tang Ru and Chen Guo were both at a loss. This was a summoner's pet, a class from the mage branch. He blasted the goblin with a cannon shot. Then Lord Grimm dropped from the sky, stomping all over chasing Haze's head with the brawler skill. Any thought of just casually playing around was long gone from Tang Ru's mind. The moment he was stomped, chasing Haze had already angled her cannon skyward, ready to blast Lord Grimm out of the air. But Lord Grimm's umbrella tip was already aimed at chasing Haze. A jet of flame spat out, a blossom of blood blooming above her head. Using the recoil from the shot, Lord Grimm executed a stylish backward leap, flying away. Close quarters combat is extremely disadvantageous for a launcher. Tang Ru had been trying to use a flying cannon shot to create distance, but to no avail. Unexpectedly this time, it was her opponent who flew away. Chasing Haze's health was critically low after the successive hits. Yet she hadn't even managed to graze Lord Grimm's clothes. Determined, Tang Ru showed no intention of giving up whatsoever.
Shall we stop fighting?
Why? Didn't Daneful. Looks like you really don't know how to play. Tang Ru was at a loss for words. Beyond the bits and pieces of glory that Chen Guo had enthusiastically shared with her as fun stories, Tang Ru truly knew nothing about it. Yet with this blistering APM-driven playstyle, she managed to defeat many opponents in the arena that Chen Guo herself couldn't beat, even clearing the Heavenly Domain skill challenge that stumped countless players. Tang Ru could be said to not know glory, yet she was incredibly strong. This very reason was why Chen Guo went to great lengths to pull her into the game. But for the same reason, Tang Ru could never muster any interest in glory. Most people get hooked on something they pick up easily, and then they just run with it. But Tang Ru is the opposite. If she can do something without breaking a sweat, she just can't seem to take it seriously. After watching her struggle for so long, Chen Guo had finally figured it out. This was a girl with an incredibly competitive spirit. When faced with a challenge she couldn't easily overcome, she didn't need any prompting. She'd buckle down and charge straight at it, just like when Chasing Haze was tackling the technical challenge to enter the heavenly domain. Tang Ru failed many times before she finally succeeded. The sheer drive she displayed during that period made her seem 100 times more passionate about glory than Chen Guo. Chen Guo was sure she'd finally gotten through to Tang Ru this time. But once the technical challenge was complete, Tang Ru quickly lost interest in glory again. Things like grinding for gear, that whole business of building up luck, Tang Ru never gave it a second thought. In the end, Tang Ru saw glory as something simple. To get her interested, you'd first have to change that impression. So Chen Guo had been trying to find an opponent Tang Ru couldn't handle, to make her realize the challenge. But the plan backfired. Every so-called expert Tang Ru encountered in the arena was quickly and thoroughly crushed. Chen Guo had told Tang Ru more than once about the famous names and the true masters of the pro scene. But Tang Ru would always just give an indifferent smile. Well, facts speak louder than words. But where on earth could Chen Guo find a master like that? It wasn't until Tang Ru returned in the morning that Chen Guo suddenly got the idea to have Yexiu give it a try. Chen Guo couldn't say exactly how strong Yexiu was, but he had been in the pro scene, after all. He had to be a cut above the average player. At worst, Tang Ru would just say it was that simple, right? That was Chen Guo's original intention. But every time she dealt with Yexiu, he'd get under her skin. And once she was riled up, she'd completely forget her initial plan. Standing behind Tang Ru, she was hoping to see Tang Ru utterly crush Yu and give her some sweet, sweet payback.
Only now, as Tang Ru was being beaten without any chance to fight back, and Yexiu even said she didn't know how to play.
Doesn't know how to play. Chen Guo felt that assessment was a bit much. If that counted as not knowing how to play, then what did that make all the people Tang Ru had beaten? And this guy is just too strong. He completely suppressed Tang Ru from start to finish. Someone who's been in the pro scene really is different. Thoughtful watching matches and replays, I never realized they were this overwhelmingly strong. Guess it really does come down to the opponent. When pros fight pros, it's a dead even match. But put them against a regular player, and the difference is night and day.
Nodding. Your hand speed is decent, but the coordination between your left and right hand is a complete mess. Your adaptability and judgment when switching perspectives is basically zero. Your understanding of gear and skills is far from enough. You lack practical experience and your playstyle is rigid. And you call that knowing how to play?